Good morning. We'll be starting in about another minute. Make sure that you have any of your props handy if you need a block, maybe a strap or a belt, a tie, something that you might feel you need when you come into some of the positions. So we're going to start by coming to the middle of the mat. So once you get to the middle of the mat, if you notice that your knees are way up towards your chin, that's an indication that you have very tight hips. So you might want to use the block to sit on, or even if you have a bolster or a blanket, you could sit on the blanket and have it handy to bring, so that this way the hips will start to open up as the knees just open out to the side, and that will loosen up the hips a little bit. So if you do have tight hips, it can be a little challenging. You might feel that stress on your hips, but just remember, with practice, it'll start to feel a little more comfortable as you continue. And you should really be practicing hopefully a little more than one time a week, because sometimes if you just take breaks in between, it's almost like starting all over again. So it's a good thing, even just to move into any of the yoga poses, doing them maybe a couple of times, doing a couple of the poses just for a few moments is better than not doing anything at all. So you don't necessarily have to take out an hour or an hour and a half of your time. So beginning by sitting in that nice, comfortable, cross-legged position. Bring both palms to rest onto your knees. And just let your shoulders lift up towards your ears, and then pull the shoulders back and down. So getting your spine nice and long. And once your spine is long and tall, closing your eyes. Drawing your navel into the back of the spine, and just feel that you're tilting your tail under, or tucking your tail under, trying not to arch the back. So if you notice that your back is arching, just kind of pull the belly into the back of the spine. That will gradually bring you into an automatic pelvic tilt. And keep your eyes closed, your hands on your knees. And just let your eyes close and just take a moment to bring your awareness and focus inward to your breath. So letting go of any of the thoughts, just trying to move them aside just for the next hour. And sometimes those thoughts will be creeping in. Sometimes they'll be negative thoughts. Sometimes it'll be your mind telling you to stop doing what you're doing. But remember that just being present is what you want to try to achieve, even if it means you don't go into all the poses fully. So allowing your eyes to remain open now. So slowly open your eyes. We're going to work on opening the shoulders. So let's draw the shoulders forward. Raise them up to your ears and roll the shoulders down. As you inhale, the shoulders move forward and roll them back and down. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Shoulders lift, inhaling up, exhaling, rolling back and down. And from here, let's take the arms, extend them all the way out and up, and open the arms out to the side. And let your palms face the floor. Draw your shoulders down away from the ears. Turn your palms towards the ceiling, and then rotate your palms to the wall behind. Try to keep the arms lifted shoulder height. Turn the palms up and rotate back. And turning up and rotating back. Last time, turning up and rotating back. Turning the palms up towards the ceiling. Raise both arms all the way up, and then extend both arms forward and draw your shoulders down. Pull them away from the ears. Allow the fingers to face forward and the palms face your mat. And let's lift the fingertips to the ceiling, pushing through the heels of your hands. So really press through. Feel the stretch coming into the back of your wrist. And then lower the fingers down. And then raise the fingers up and lower down. Again, raising up and lower down. Once the fingers are down, keeping the shoulders, the arms shoulder height, circle the hands in one direction, just getting some movement into your wrists, and circle reversing the opposite way. And bring both hands onto your knees. From here, take an inhale and slowly on your exhale, lower your chin to your chest, maintaining that straight spine. Just let the head hang heavy. Slowly roll your head all the way over to the right side. And then bring the chin down to chest and taking your head over to the left side. And bringing the head down. Over to the right. And lower down, chin to chest, over to the left. And do this a few more times. Try to make sure that you're maintaining that straight spine. Keep that pelvic tilt if you notice that you're arching through your lower back. Finishing up one more round. So you're going to start with the right, finishing up on the left. And once you finish on the left, just bring your chin back to the chest, allowing the head to continue to hang down. And once your head is down, check in with your posture. Your spine should be nice and straight. And then slowly raise your chin, allowing it to come level with the floor. We're going to come right into a tabletop position. So you can either roll forward or you can take your legs out to the side. However, you can get onto all fours and let your fingers spread wide. You want to spread those fingers wide so that the middle fingers are facing forward. Keep your knees directly under your hips and pull your shoulders back away from the ears. Working on opening the back, so we're going to just bring some movement into the spine. So from here, let your toes curl, let your tailbone start to tilt up, let your belly move towards the floor and lift your chest up, let your head lift. Keep your arms straight when you're doing this, toes go flat, draw your navel into the back of the spine, coming into that pelvic tilt and round through the whole back, tuck the chin into the chest. And again, curl as the toes tilt, the tailbone lifts. And tucking under, toes go flat, exhaling. And curl the toes, lifting up. And rounding back, toes go flat, chin comes into the chest last. One more time, inhale. And toes go flat, exhale. And just keeping the back nice and long, we're going to come into puppy pose. So you're going to just extend your fingers a little bit further forward. Draw your forearms down and extend the arms out a little further and lift your butt up. So your chest is coming slightly down to the floor, but your forehead is on the mat and your tailbone is lifted. This is a little bit different than child's pose. Child's pose, the tailbone would be back. So this is puppy pose with the arms, the forearms on the floor and the forehead on the mat. And your tailbone is up to the ceiling. And just rest here. Take some nice deep inhales and exhales, extending the tailbone up towards the ceiling. And then raise your forehead, slide your hands so that they come back underneath your shoulders. And we're going to make sure the knees are under the hips. Extend your right leg all the way back. Draw the right hip down to the mat. And we're going to round the back. As we pull the chin into the chest, try to think about touching your knee to your nose. Send that right leg all the way up to the ceiling and look up. And again, pulling in, rounding the back, knee into the nose. And lift that leg up. And pull it in for the last time. And then lifting that leg all the way up. Allow the ball mound of your right foot to come onto the floor. Push back through your right heel to stretch into that right calf. So you want to, the more you push your heel back, the more you'll feel that stretch. But don't force it. You want to just feel the stretch. You don't want to end up getting a cramp or a Charlie horse in that right calf muscle. And then lower the right knee back under the hip. A left leg goes back. Make sure that left hip faces down. You're going to round the back as you pull that knee in towards your nose. And then inhale, lift that leg up. Exhale and pull the knee in. Try to touch the knee to your nose. And lift. And pull it in. And lift. And pull it in. The leg is going to go back and you're going to bring the ball mound of your left foot onto the floor. Push back through your left heel. Feel the stretch coming into your left calf. And then bring the knee back down underneath your hip. And from here, let's curl the toes and we're going to sit back onto the heel. So we're going to continue to stretch in through those calf muscles, but we're also going to get a stretch in through the soles of the feet. So draw your tailbone down towards your heels, and then walk your hands in and just sit on your heels. And just let your tailbone tuck under. Keep your shoulders down away from the ears. You'll be feeling a stretch a little bit through the quadriceps. You'll feel a lot of stretching through the soles of your feet, feeling the calf muscles also getting a stretch, continuing to keep those heels touching your buttocks. And then send those fingers all the way forward. So we're going to keep the toes curled. Reach as far as you can to the front of your mat. Bring that tailbone back, and then just lift your knees and lift your tailbone up. Not holding our down dog that long. We're going to look forward and walk your feet all the way to the front of your mat, and bring your big toes to touch. And then slide your hands up your shins, lengthen your spine, pull the hips back, belly in. Exhale, fold, and slide up again. Inhale, exhale, and fold. And lengthen, inhale, and fold on your exhale. Let's take the arms out in T. So elongate your spine, pull the belly in, keeping that tail tucked. Both arms come out, hinge from your hips, and raise your arms up. Bring your palms together, and slowly bring the thumbs to the center of your heart. Take your chin to your chest, and option 2, close your eyes or not. What's up, whatever feels right for you. So just allow yourself to connect to your breath. Sometimes closing your eyes is helpful to just stay focused and present. And just make sure that that breath is continuously flowing in and out through the back of your throat. We're going to work on stretching the hamstrings a little more, so open your eyes. Bring both arms all the way up. As you inhale and open the arms out to the side, and then take the arms behind you, clasp your fingers. Stretch your knuckles down, tuck your tail under, and then just raise your chest. So pulling the belly into the back of the spine, let your head drop back, folding with a flat back. So keep that belly pulled in, stretch the knuckles, and just fold to where you can keep pulling the shoulders back. If you start to notice that you're rounding through the back and your shoulders start to drop forward, don't go any further. Reset your back to be nice and long, and extend the knuckles. So you want to take the forward fold with the shoulders pulling back, and just stretch with both legs staying straight. Feel your hip bones, your tailbone tilting up to the ceiling, and you're hinging from the hips. Raise the knuckles up, pull the belly in. And from here, slowly come back up. Keep your navel into the back of the spine. And then from here, take the arms and extend them out to the side. Raise them up and bring your hands into prayer, thumbs to the center of your heart. And from here, just let's point the fingers down towards the floor. So opening and stretching into those wrists. Try to press through the heels of your hands. So it's important to get mobility, motion, openness in our wrists. So try to press the heels of the hands together, and let your elbows splay out to the side. So trying to get the fingers to face towards the floor. So this can be challenging if you have very tight wrists. And then bring the hands back up into prayer with the thumbs to the center of your heart, and the fingers are facing up towards the ceiling. Hold here. Inhale, lift the arms all the way up. And exhale, taking a forward fold. We're going to end up in a lunge position, so bend your knees as your hands come to the mat. Step your left leg back. So you want to get your leg back as far as you can go, lowering your pelvis down. You can always use your block, bringing the block next to your right foot and allowing your left hand to come onto the block to help lift your chest. So you want to really feel that there's space. You don't want to collapse all the way into down onto the floor. You want to feel length in your spine. So you want to feel your right hip pulling back, and just feel that stretch coming into your left hip flexor. So sending that left leg back, sometimes holding onto the block can help bring you more space through that left hip flexor. And breathe here. And so just breathing into the stretch, taking time to let your body really absorb what you're doing, not coming out of it too quickly, but trying to just stay in it for a little while. So we start to notice what comes up. Sometimes it's tension, tightness. So utilize your breath every exhale to let that tightness go. And then from here, curl your back toes, let that left knee lift, and we're going to switch sides. So the left foot is going to come forward. So shift the weight forward to the right foot and bring your left foot to meet it. Sending your right leg back, so you can either step back, slide it back, and wiggle that right foot back as far as you can. And maybe using the block to lift up, maybe that will help send that right leg back a little more. Lower the right knee to the floor, keeping your left knee over your ankle. And keep your chest lifted. So pull your shoulders back. Noticing the stretch into the right hip flexor. Pull that left hip back, keeping the left knee over the ankle and the left knee is facing forward. Just breathe through it. Maybe let your eyes just close. Go into your Ujjayi breath if you're not already there. So our Ujjayi breath is a breath that we use flowing in and out through the back of the throat with our mouth closed. And from here, curl your back toes, push back through your heel, lifting your knee, shift the weight forward into the left foot, and let the right leg come forward. Inhale the arms out in T, straighten your legs, reach the arms up, bring your palms together, and slowly bring your hands back to the center of your heart. And take a moment just to notice how you're feeling in through those hip flexors on both legs. So from here, let's bring the arms down. We're going to take a step back with the right leg. And once that right leg goes back to the back of the mat, you want to make sure the left heel lines up with the instep of your right foot. So angle your right toes to the longer edge of the mat, maybe facing more to the right corner, not to the back corner. So the toes are angled more about a 45-degree angle. And your left leg is straight. You want to allow the hips to face that longer edge of your mat. Inhale the arms out in T position and relax your shoulders. Now tighten up your left quadricep. As you tighten that left quad, you're going to feel yourself pulling into your left hip. And then feel that your right hip is kicking out and back, reaching out with the left hand for your triangle pose. Bring the hand towards your shin and then take your right hand to your hip. So you don't want to bring your whole body and twist it down to the floor. You want to turn the right rib cage up to the ceiling. So first you want to open up that right rib cage, turn that hip up to the ceiling, keep that left quadricep engaged, and then as you rotate that right rib cage up, the shoulder starts to stack over the left. If the arm can freely go up and extend right up to the ceiling, then you can raise it. Otherwise, just keep on working to get that rotation, really opening through that right side of your body. Try to just let your right hand rest on the thigh, on your shin. Keep your belly in. So this is where the work is, in the core. Looking up towards the ceiling, we're going to bring the gaze now down towards the left hip. Come back up, arms in T position. Changing the position of the leg. So lower your arms down. Turning your feet the opposite way. So the right toes are going to turn towards the short back end of your mat, and the left toes are going to turn towards the corner at 45 degrees. Heel to instep alignment. You want to keep that same stance. Make sure the hips are towards the longer edge of your mat. Engage your right quadricep, so tighten that right thigh, extending the arms out. So arms just float out, the shoulders are relaxed. You don't want to lift the shoulders. You want the arms to float from the shoulder blades so it doesn't put too much pressure into the shoulders. And from here, contracting your right quad. So tighten that right quad as if you feel it pulling into your right hip, which is pushing that left hip towards the front. Reaching out with that right hand. So you're reaching more to the back of your mat now. Bring your right hand to your shin. Bring your left hand to your hip. So we don't want to roll the chest towards the floor. We want that chest to roll up. So pull your navel in. And as you stack that left shoulder, if it goes right over the right, the arm can just extend up. So the arm goes up. You don't want your arm to go to the corner of the room or angled out. Reaching up. So it's like you're in a nice triangle pose with your whole body in between an imaginary pane of glass. So tucking the buttocks under. And then look down at your right big toe. Come back up with straight arms, straight legs. and bring both arms all the way down. From here, let's turn so that both toes are facing towards the longer edge of your mat. So both toes are facing the longer edge. Widen the stance slightly where you feel comfortable. Maybe you don't need to widen it, but we're going to try and get it as wide as we can. And when we come forward, we're going to try and keep our legs straight. So you can make sure you have your block handy and bring it in front of you. So if you need your block, you're going to be placing it right in front of your chest when you come down. So from here, let's bring both hands onto the hips. Squeeze your shoulder blades, pull your elbows towards each other. Now get that tuck. So pull the belly in, tuck your tail. So you want your pelvis to press towards the mat. Elbows squeeze together. Just lift your chest, inhale, and then hinging from your hips. Keep pulling your navel into the back of the spine. Remember, we don't want that arch in the lower back. Just hinge to where you can come with the legs straight. When you can come forward, legs go straight. And just send those hips back. Now, if you're flexible enough, you might be able to bring your hands to the floor. But if you're not that flexible, you're going to bring your block in front of you and let your hands come onto the block. Maybe the medium side, maybe the low side, or maybe even the tall side. So keep pulling your belly in. Try to keep the hips directly over your ankles and pull your shoulders back. Tuck that tail, so take that arch out of the back. Try to make sure your crown, the head is in alignment with your tailbone. So as you start to come down, you're hinging from your hips and your head just stays in that neutral position and pulls as deep as you can go without bending the legs. So don't worry about how flexible you are. Just be more concerned that you're stretching your muscles to their best potential. If you start to force it, you can actually injure yourself. So just feel that navel pulling in, tuck the tail under. And then from here, let's walk the hands over to the left. So you're going to turn your left toes toward the front of your mat, and you're going to rotate onto the ball of your right foot. As you're here, take that right knee down to the mat. Once it comes down, you can grab your block if you need to, bringing the block next to your left big toe. Sweep the left arm forward. Open the chest towards the left. And if your left arm is out to the side, just keep that hand onto your lower back and start to rotate the left rib cage up, just like we did when we were in our triangle, opening up the chest. So when the chest opens and the shoulder starts to stack over the opposite shoulder, the arm will be able to go up easily. But if you have a little tightness there, you might want to just continue to work on opening in through the left side of the body. And then bring your hand down to the floor. From here, you're going to curl your back toes, lift the knee, walk it to the long edge of your mat again, so that we're going to go to the other side. Bring your block with you, should you need it. And when you go walking to the other side, your right toes are turning to the shorter end of the mat at a 90-degree angle, and your right knee is over the ankle. So make sure your left leg is far enough back. Bring the knee to the floor. Take your block next to the right big toe, and whatever angle of your block is needed for you. Stretch your right arm forward and rotate open. Again, you can bring that right hand to your lower back to open up that right rib cage. Once you get that space, the arm can extend and breathe. So maybe it stays on your lower back until you feel that you can get more range of motion. As you practice, you start to open the body. It becomes a little bit more flexible, and there's more space in your body so that you can go deeper into the poses. And then from here, bring that right hand back down. Curl your back toes, and we're going to walk to the middle of the mat once again. Bring your block with you. So from here, now we're going to take the block wherever we need it. Bring your right hand down to the mat or the block and extend. Make sure both toes are facing that long edge of your mat, and extend the left arm up. So another twist here. We're squeezing out the internal organs in these twists. Lift the thumb up if you can't get the shoulder to stack over the right. Keep your hand on your lower back. So it's okay as long as you're trying to rotate and open into your twist. And then replace your right hand with your left, whether you're on the block or on the floor, and extend the right arm up. And breathe. Make sure that that right shoulder stacks over the left. Or place the hand to your lower back and keep rolling that right shoulder back. And then release the right hand back down to the mat. Rotate over to the left foot, turning the left toes forward, and take your right foot to meet the left. Lengthen your spine. Inhale. Fold as you exhale, and let's take the arms out in T position. Come all the way up. Bring your hands to prayer and take your hands to the center of your heart. And just hold here. You can close your eyes if you feel that you're comfortable doing that, or just let the eyes remain open. Take a moment just to feel yourself relaxing in your pose, feeling grounded. Just feel the sensations occurring in your body, not judging them. Belly is pulling in, tailbone is pressing towards the floor. A few more breaths. And slowly let your eyes open. We're going to extend the arms out to the side in T position. Just take your legs about hip distance apart and pull your navel into the back of the spine. So you want your tailbone to press down towards the mat. Let your shoulders relax. Keep the belly pulled in. And then shift the weight over into your left leg. As you shift the weight over into the left leg, feel that you're able to let your right leg lift and get the knee to bend. So the right knee comes over the ankle. If you have to bring the leg down, go back into it, but take your time. If you go too quickly, you're going to be falling out of it a lot. So try to take your time to find your balance. So you might find a little shaking going on. That's your body looking for the strength that it needs to hold you here in this pose. Keep the right knee over your ankle. And breathe. Strong through that left leg. Feel the left arch lift. The left leg is straight. Lower the arms down and then lower your right leg down. You need to shake out your standing leg. Just kind of shake out the foot, rotate it around. Coming back with the legs about hip distance apart. Feel that you're grounding into both feet. The arches of your feet feel as if they're lifting away from the mat. Pressing down firmly into all four corners of your feet and pulling your navel into the back of the spine. So it's important that we can use the contraction in our belly. Float the arms out and shoulders relax. Shift the weight over to the right leg. Feel that right leg strong, so really feel length through the right leg. And when you're ready, go ahead and pick up the left foot and start to lift the leg. Just lift your knee as high as you can lift it. Maybe your foot is only a little bit off the ground, but trying to take your balance, eventually you can get the leg to lift just as high as your hip. Keep your heel directly underneath your knee. Shoulders are down, gaze is forward. Try to avoid leaning back. You want those shoulders to stack over your hips and pull the navel into the spine, bringing the tailbone down. And if you come out, take your time to slowly ease your way back in. So remembering holding here is what really gets the body to recognize that we're working. Bring the arms down and lower the left foot. And if you need to, shake out that standing leg. Rotate the foot around, whatever you need to do. And come to the top of your mat if you're not already there. We're going to roll down in ragdoll. So we're going to put a soft bend in the knees. Pull your navel into the back of the spine. Feel your tailbone tilting, tucking under. Just start to let the arms go very heavy, as if you have very heavy weight on your fingertips. Let your chin come into the chest and really feel your head very heavy. Start to roll yourself all the way down. Now, if you have back issues and you know that this is not something that's good for your back, generally forward bends aren't. But if you're feeling any twinges, allow yourself to stay just maybe in mountain pose. So you can just continue to stand up straight. You don't have to roll forward. Slight bend in the knees, pulling the belly in. So pulling the belly in will help protect the back a little bit. but just listen to your body. And once you roll and hang, you might want to bring the fingertips into the opposite elbows and let your head hang. Shake your head yes, and shake your head no. And hold here. We're going to roll ourselves back up, so put a slight bend in the knees and just let the arms collapse down. Tuck your tail under, pull that navel into the back of the spine, roll yourself up one vertebra at a time. Keep allowing each vertebra to stack until finally your back is straight, the crown of your head extends to the ceiling. And let's bring both arms all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward with a flat back. Bend your legs at the knees as you place both hands to the floor. Step one leg back, and then your other leg goes back, and bring your knees back down underneath your hips. Bring both palms underneath your shoulders, and keep your shoulders over your palms, fingers are spread wide. Then thread the needle. Take the right arm, send it out to the side, and start to lift it up. Follow your thumb as it lifts up, and then slide your right hand behind your left wrist, and keep reaching your fingers all the way to the left. Keep pushing the fingertips to the left as the right shoulder comes to the floor, and lower your right ear and temple onto the mat. Your tailbone is up towards the ceiling. Just holding in this twist. 2 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, slide that right hand back, reaching it out to the side and up once again, returning the palm back under the shoulder. Switching sides now, so the left arm is going to extend out and up. You're going to follow the left hand, reach it up, and let that left hand slide behind the right wrist, and keep reaching as the left shoulder comes down, cheek, ear, and temple touches the floor, but stays up in the air. Just holding here. Just noticing what you're feeling. So working on these different twists coming into kind of squeezing out the toxins from the body. And just hold another 2 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale, allowing that left arm to extend out and up, following the hand as it lifts. And bring your left hand back down underneath the shoulder. And let's take our first child's pose. Bring your big toes to touch. Open your knees and draw your tailbone down towards your heel. So if you find that it's too challenging to get your tailbone down, you can come back into your puppy pose. So bring the forearms forward and let your butt lift up and drop your forehead down. So you want the shoulders to feel as they're getting a stretch. Keep your arms extended to the front of your mat. And 2 more breaths here. Just let the exhale really release any tension or tightness that you're holding on to. And then coming back onto all fours. And we're going to come onto our belly. So however you can get down onto your belly, bring your forehead so that it's just at the front of your mat, not on your floor. And allowing the arms to extend forward alongside your ears. Draw your forehead down to the floor and stretch your fingertips forward. Pull your shoulders back. And now tuck your tail under and press into the toenails, allowing your knees to lift. So when you press your toenails into the floor and tuck your hips under, you're going to feel that little pelvic tilt, and it's going to allow the knees to lift off the floor. And then let the legs relax, let your toenails relax. We're going to do that again. So just really engaging the lower back, tucking under and engaging the buttocks and the thighs. Push into your toenails, tuck your tail under. So as you tuck your tail under, you're going to feel your thighs working, your glutes working. You're pushing into your toenail. Make sure that you're breathing. Just feel that work, and then relax the lower back, your legs, and relax your feet. So now we're going to come into a back bend by doing the same thing. So all 10 toes are pressing down to the floor. Feel the shins, the knees, the thighs lifting. Tuck the tail under, and then you're going to start to lift your head and raise your arms. So your head just lifts slightly off the mat. You're not looking up. Your forehead is facing the mat, and your arms is coming up close to the ears. Keep feeling that you're pushing into your toenails to lift yourself up. One more breath here. Lift up higher. Inhale. It's challenging. Exhale, come down. And turn onto your right ear and bend both elbows into your body. Just relax here. Taking some nice deep inhales and exhales through your nose. And turn your forehead back onto the mat. Extend both arms forward again. Make sure your legs are close together. Toenails are flat on the mat, forehead on the mat. Push into your toenails, feel your thighs lifting, your knees lifting. Then just raise your forehead, raise your arms. Tiny lift. Try to keep those arms extended alongside the ears, strengthening your upper back, your lower back. Lift up a little higher, hold. One more inhale. Exhale, lower everything down, turning onto your left ear, bringing the arms in, and just let go. Forehead comes onto the floor, keeping the arms in close to your body. Bend both legs at the knees. Windshield wiper your legs side to side, keeping your knees bent. And then let those legs go straight back. And slide your hands so that they come towards the bottom of your rib cage and pull your elbows in towards each other. So get your hands really close to the bottom of the rib cage. Push into your hands and just raise the head. So the head just lifts. You're not lifting from the neck. So you're not crunching your neck back. All you're doing is pushing and lifting the chest, lifting the head. Continue to push into your hands. Come into tabletop with your knees under your hips. And then from here, cross your legs at the ankles and sit down onto your buttocks. If you need the block, bring the block behind you so that you can sit down onto your block if you need it. So if your hips are tight, maybe your hips opened up a little bit so you can stay on your mat. So keeping your legs crossed, sit up nice and tall. And just let your palms rest onto the knees. Pull the navel into the back of the spine. Let the shoulders relax. And then allow the eyes to open. And let's bring both arms out to the side, raising them up. We're going to turn and twist to the right. As you open your chest, bring your left hand onto your right knee. Take your right hand next to your tailbone. Or if your hand goes back, try to keep the shoulder down away from the ear. But you don't want to lean back into that right leg. You want the crown of your head to stay over your tailbone. So it's okay to take the arm out as long as you don't bring your body back with you. So maybe pulling it in helps. Shoulders pull down away from the ears, chest opens. And just going into this twist just to where you feel that you can get some space and open up. And then from here, release out of your twist and bring both arms all the way up, turning and twisting to the left. So right hand finds the knee, left hand comes behind, spine nice and tall. Maybe wiggling that left hand in, or if you keep it extended, the crown of your head stays over your tailbone, so not leaning back. Pull the shoulders down, open through your chest. and breathe. And slowly come back out. We're going to end up on the back of our back. So you're going to just let yourself scoop forward slightly and come to lower onto your back so that we can work a little on opening our hips. So we're going to start first by tucking the tail under so that the lower back flattens to the floor. So you're in a pelvic tilt when your lower back is pressing down. Extend your right leg out up towards the ceiling. And then you just want to open that right leg out, keeping the leg straight. And then bend the leg at the knee and reach for your ankle. Pull that right knee towards your armpit. So you want to pull it in towards the armpit to feel that you're opening your groin area, your right hip. Send that leg straight back up and take that right ankle just on top of your left thigh. Keeping your navel pulled in, let that right knee release forward. So this right hip is getting a stretch. Both arms are alongside you. Navel is pulling into the back of the spine. Slowly lift the left foot off the mat, pushing that left thigh into your right ankle. So feel your left leg doing the work to open your right hip. If you need assistance and to go deeper, maybe interlace your fingers behind your left leg and pull in a little more. So as you're pulling in, as you feel that openness coming into that right hip, feeling the stretch, just breathe with it. And then slowly let that left foot come back down to the floor. And let's keep that left foot on top of the thigh. Open the arms out in T position. And let's take a twist. We're going to take it all the way over to the left. So you're going to let the left knee draw over, the right foot, right knee come over to the left. And opening in through that right hip, stretching through the lower back. Maybe reaching your left hand onto your right knee for a little more guided assistance to go deeper into the stretch. But maybe you don't need that. Maybe you're feeling a nice deep stretch without the aid of your left hand. And then turn your gaze to look over the right fingers. Relax your shoulders. Close your eyes and just breathe here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And let's do that one more time, really letting go on your exhale. Inhale. Exhale, letting go. Just relax. Let that right hip surrender. Bring your gaze back to look up to the ceiling, keeping your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Bring your legs back up. Keep your left foot on the floor. And then place the right foot down onto the floor. So adjust yourself back to the middle of your mat. Bring both arms down alongside you. Pull your navel into the back of the spine so lower back flattens to the floor. And take your left leg, stretch it up. Flex the foot, open it out to the side. Try to keep that leg, that back of the knee pressing forward. Then bend your knee in towards your left armpit. Reach up with your left hand. Grab the ankle and pull it in. So opening in through the left hip flexor, the left hip, maybe holding the sole of the foot. You want to try and keep pulling that left knee over towards the left shoulder. And then taking that left heel, ankle on top of your right thigh. Let that left knee fall open forward. And then pulling the navel into the back of the spine, raising the right leg. So that right thigh pushes into that left ankle, really pressing to feel that intense stretch. So you may not need your hands to go deeper. Maybe just by pushing that thigh into your ankle gives you that deeper stretch. But if you need to, interlace the fingers and pull in a little bit more. And then close your eyes and just release into that stretch. And you may notice that your right hip may feel tighter or more open than this side. So sometimes we have to observe what we're experiencing. We notice what side is stronger, what side is a little more weaker, what side needs more work. Bring that foot down, so release your hands. Keep the ankle on top of your left thigh. Bring both arms out in T. Keeping your right foot on the floor, we're going to take our twist to the right. So your left knee is going over to the right. The left foot will find the floor, and that left shoulder stays down. You can use the right hand to go deeper if you want, but maybe you don't need it. Maybe you're just getting the right stretch for you. You can take your gaze to look over the left fingers and then close your eyes. We're going to take the 3 breaths here. And with each exhale, really let go, really relax that left side. Inhale and exhale, letting go. And again, inhale and exhale. And last time, take an inhale and exhale. Inhale, your head comes center. Slowly bring those legs back, keeping the ankle on top of your right thigh. Right foot comes flat. And then release your left foot down. Readjust so that you're back into the center of your mat. Hug both knees into your chest and just take some nice rocking motions from side to side. And then from here, let's cross the legs at the ankles. Take your hands behind your thighs. We're going to rock ourselves forward and back. So do the best you can. You're going to roll yourself up and then take it back. So you're going to roll forward and then you're going to take it back. And roll forward and take it back. And roll forward and take it back. And come forward into a cross-legged position. And we're going to just move to the middle of the mat. Take the soles of your feet together and sit up tall. Draw the heels in close to your groin. Sit up as tall as you can with your shoulders down. Turn the soles of your feet to the ceiling. And with your belly pulled in and your tail tucked, hinge from your hips. Just take the upper body forward without rounding the shoulders, without scrunching the shoulders to the ears. Just hinge from your hips. Just be observant of what you're feeling through your groin, inner thighs. And slowly come back up. And we're going to bring both feet flat to the floor. Scoot your hips towards your heels. We're going to roll ourselves down one vertebra at a time, working on strengthening the abdominals. So this is a good way to get your abdominal muscles to get stronger. So if you feel that it's very challenging, you want to keep working with this until eventually it feels effortless. So slowly tucking your tail, pulling your belly in, tucking your tail, chin into the chest, slowly taking it down. So keep squeezing your belly. Keep that tilt in your pelvis. Let your lower back touch the mat, your mid back, and your upper back. And then bring both arms down. And let's bring those heels in close to the buttocks, finishing off with a bridge pose. So both feet are flat on the floor. Pull your navel into the spine, coming into your pelvic tilt, so feel that lower back flat. And then start to just keep that contraction in your belly and let your hips slowly raise off the mat, lifting up as high as you can go, coming into your bridge. Now, if you want, you can bring the block underneath. So for a supported bridge, sometimes this helps. So if you're really starting out and you're brand new, maybe just taking the time to bring the block underneath your sacrum. If you have the block and you've been doing this for a long time, you might want to take the block and go a little bit deeper into your back bend. So you may want to take it to this level here, the medium-sized level, or if you have a lot of strength here, flexibility, you can take it to the higher level. So it's supporting you as you go deeper into the pose. But take the level that feels right. Don't do the higher level just because you feel that that's going to be the best for you. It's not if you're just starting out. So make sure that you feel comfortable where you are. If you didn't choose to use the block, that's fine. You can just keep yourself lifted. So everyone's going to lift up a little higher, remove the block from underneath you, and then slowly bring your spine to the floor. Keep the tilt in your pelvis. One vertebra comes down at a time. And as you come down, your sacrum touches, and then let your tailbone release. Hug the knees into your chest. One more gentle rocking motion from side to side. And then gently extend the legs straight out. So coming into our relaxation now, our Shavasana, our final pose, the legs extend out, the feet open. Draw your arms away from your body. Squeezing your shoulder blades, expand the chest. Make sure the crown of your head faces the back of the room. Make sure your chin is slightly towards your chest. So you don't want your chin to be way, way up, and you don't want to be straining the neck area. So turning your palms towards the ceiling in a gesture of receiving. Close your eyes and just let your whole body begin to sink deeper and deeper. So let's just notice our breath like we did when we were in our twists. Hopefully it felt like you were really relaxing when you were in those twists and really noticing how your exhale let everything go. Do the same thing with 3 breaths here while we're in our Shavasana pose. Take a nice deep breath in. And with your exhale, feel every muscle melting away, melting from the bone, moving deeper into your relaxation. Again, deep inhale. Exhale, relax those muscles even more. And last time, deep inhale. And as you exhale, let those muscles sink, sink deeper, deeper, deeper. Coming into relaxation, heaviness, be open, feel relaxed, feel peaceful. Just let everything go. Try not to let your mind start to come into judgment, criticism. Let those thoughts go. Bring into your mind a sense of quiet and peacefulness, calmness and openness. Relax your body, relax your mind. Without moving, just notice how you're feeling. Notice your body completely relaxed and heavy. It touches the earth. Very slowly turn your head to one side. Bring it back to center. Turning the head to the other side. Returning it back to center. And start to slowly, gently move your fingers and your toes. Feeling them move. Wakening up your body. And take a nice deep breath in and stretch your arms all the way over your head, getting a nice deep morning stretch. As you exhale, let go of any sigh sounds or moans, letting everything go. Hug your knees and pull them into your chest, taking some nice gentle rocking motions from side to side. Massage out that back. And when you feel ready, roll yourself all the way over to the right side of your mat and just come to rest into this comfortable fetal position. Let your head rest on your inner right arm, so you can let that arm go long or keep it bent, whatever feels comfortable. And just let your left hand come in front of your chest on the floor in front of you. Just lying here in this fetal position. Be with your stillness. Be with your peace. Remember, your practice is a process of moving and being present, of being accepting of your limitations. So once we feel that we get discouraged and if we feel that it becomes too challenging, too hard, it's easy to give up and not try to come back to your practice. So even though it feels very challenging, if sometimes those poses are a little too much, ease up until you feel ready. Sometimes you can go into the pose, feel that it's challenging, and recognize, nope, that might not be for me right now. So that's the way of really recognizing where your body is and how you're feeling as you move. And eventually the strength comes, the flexibility comes, the endurance comes, and you'll be able to move yourself further and further along. So everyone has to start somewhere. So we only get ourselves deeper into the poses with practice. Not everybody is as flexible as others, so you only take it to your own limit. So from here, let's bring both hands to prayer into the center of the heart, and we'll close the practice feeling in what we've gained, what we've learned, the knowledge, the understanding of our own body, the recognizing that we might force ourselves, or maybe we have to just surrender to the poses, to let them go, let them just kind of sink in. So really just feeling in all that we've learned. And we'll take one Om. Take a nice deep breath in. Om. And slowly and gently take your chin as you bow to the chin to the chest as you bow to that light and love that shines within you. Know that that light and love shines brightly within each and every one of us. Namaste. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your practice, and I hope you continue to practice as much as you possibly can. Even if you don't do it for a full hour, just do a little bit as much as you can. Thank you again. Have a great day.